Hi, I'm Vic Pinn, and I'm coming to you live from the GBTA broadcast studio in San Diego with my guest, Todd Webster of Cornerstone Government Affairs. Todd, good morning and great to have you.
Vic, good to be with you. Good to be here in sunny San Diego.
Now, Todd, you work for Cornerstone Government Affairs, which is GBTA's U.S. advocacy consultants.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Cornerstone and your background.
So Cornerstone is a 15-year-old lobbying and government relations firm in Washington. We have a variety of about 110 different clients, and we cover Capitol Hill, the administration. We also have 10 state offices in 8 different states, so we combine federal advocacy with state advocacy. We like to call it advocacy and government relations because lobbyist is a dirty word these days, but we've enjoyed the partnership with GBTA. There's so much going on in Washington with aviation, with travel, with transportation, that every day there's something new.
I'll tell you, the work that you do for GBTA is absolutely vital. The amount of swirling news from DC can be overwhelming at times, I'm sure. Talk to us a little bit about some of the few hot topics that GBTA, that you're working on with and for GBTA.
Absolutely. Well, the FAA bill, the Federal Aviation Administration authorization, expires September 30th, so both the House and the Senate have been working to reauthorize the FAA to make sure that air traffic control and grants to airports, a variety of aviation issues are extended. That bill continues to get extended year after year, but just in the last year, there was a push to allow cell phones to be used on airplanes. Now, if you think about the interior of an airplane cabin, it's about 80 decibels at speed, which is about the same volume as pushing a lawnmower or your disposal in the sink. So if you can imagine somebody trying to have a conversation above the din of a lawnmower, that would be pretty loud and disruptive. So we've worked with members of Congress to try to continue a ban on using cell phones on planes. Another issue that we're working on is the passenger facility charge. Every airplane ticket, every segment that you fly, you pay $4 to the federal government, and they use that to give to airports to build infrastructure at the airports. In January, there was an effort to try to slip that in to double that per segment fee from $4 to $8 without any conversation, and we worked with GBTA to try to kill that and hold that off. So. Right now, the number of taxes and fees that every passenger, every business traveler, and every pleasure traveler pays on a ticket can be as much as 20 or 25% of the cost of a ticket is going to taxes and fees. So we're working with GBTA to try to keep hold the line on increasing taxes and fees.
Well, I'll tell you, being a road warrior myself, I hope that the ban stays on with regards to cell phones, because I can't imagine what that would be like.
It would be loud and even louder. Yeah.
The climate on Capitol Hill seems to be difficult with the Republicans and Democrats dug in on issues at certain times. From your perspective, does this impact the business travel agenda, and how?
Well, the dirty little secret is that the members, Republicans and Democrats on the Hill, actually get along better than many people would believe. When push comes to shove, they usually do the right thing, and I think it was Winston Churchill who had a great line that Americans you can count on to do the right thing after they've exhausted every other option.
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, folks do the right thing. Sometimes, frankly, gridlock can be good. If you're talking about raising a passenger facility charge and doubling that from $4 per segment to $8 per segment, making sure that doesn't happen is actually a positive. So there is progress being made. As I said, the FAA bill needs to be authorized and extended by September 30th. We expect that to happen. The government runs out of money on September 30th, so the entire federal government, the appropriation cycle, needs to be extended by September 30th. The likelihood there is that they will extend the federal government's funding through November or the end of the year with a new Congress coming in, because this is an election year. In November, you'll have every member of the House of Representatives up for election and about a third of the Senate. So I think the agenda in Washington is going to get probably more political and more partisan over the next couple of months in advance of that November election.
Well, you know what? We thank you for your efforts, and we think that you're there fighting for us. So keep up the good work.
Absolutely, and if I could put in one plug for the GBTA GR Government Relations Committee meeting tomorrow, Wednesday the 15th at 12:45 in meeting room number 2 upstairs. Please join Shane Downey and Colleen and the GBTA Government Relations Committee for a fascinating discussion of what the heck is going on in Washington tomorrow, Wednesday at 12:45.
Beautiful, beautiful. Todd, thank you so much.
Vic, thank you.
Live from the GBTA broadcast studio, I'm Vic Pinn. Thanks for listening.